cannot roll through stretchers.
Thanks for joining me on TMI Thursday, and I did say we're looking at Road to Edo 2020. Is it bumpy? Some say that, well, it's bumpy, looking at the issues arising from the All Progressive Congress, and there seems to be a very wide gulf. Well, some again will say that the All Progressive Congress is a Congress and not a party. Well, we'll be looking at that, and I have an array of distinguished personalities. From my immediate left, I have the president of One Love Foundation, aka Ultimate Equal, Patrick Oshiomhole. Thank you, comrade, for coming.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you, viewers.
And next to him, I have a member of the All Progressive Congress, Bright Onaiwo. Thanks for coming, Bright.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
And of course, quickly, I also have one I see as very articulate in the issues arising on the polity, and he is also a member of the All Progressive Congress, a chieftain, Prince Gregory Ogiogwa. Prince Gregory Ogiogwa has served in various capacities in the state government. Thank you for coming, Prince.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody.
And next, I have an educationist, also an executive director, African Emancipation Movement. He is the president of Association for Education and Development. He is Godsent Oshiomhole. Thank you for coming, Godsent.
My pleasure, Phil. Good morning, viewers.
I choose to start with you, Patrick Iholo. Like I did say, there seems to be a gulf, and there seems to be somehow the members seem to be losing a compass to settlement in the All Progressive Congress, and with the issue that just arose on the headlines even yesterday, where the Director General of the All Progressive Governors Forum did say that the national chairman, Oshiomhole, should call for a NEC meeting or resign. What do you make of this and the distractions that this crisis is heading towards?
Well, you know, the fact is that I will see it as a catch-22. Even I say that it's not far-fetched. There's a popular say in Benin dialect, for those who understand Benin very, very well. It translates, I'm going to interpret it with English after saying it with Benin. I hope most of the viewer who doesn't understand Benin in depth, forgive me, but I will explain to you what it means. Or where what it means is that if there are no confusion among the elites, among the people who think that power belongs to them, it will not get down to the downtrodden. So we are happy. I have anticipated this, that it's going to come to play like this.
You are happy over the rancor? Is that what you mean?
Listen, if anyone is happy over this, it will be wrong to say that people will be happy over confusion. But
okay, some
other people are also very happy that most of these people are exposing themselves, that it was not about the people, it was all about them. So if it plays out like this, those who are selling their vote will rethink. Those who are dying for nothing will think. Because I believe that when you play politics, you should play it in a responsible way, in a responsible manner. And you should stop that idea of deceit. Because those who are fighting now, the question you're going to ask, what are they really fighting for? Are they fighting for power? Are they fighting for money? Or are they fighting for the interest of the unemployed?
Big question.
Youth in the state? Or are they fighting for the purpose of accessing qualitative education? Or are they fighting for the purpose of accessing qualitative medical care? So those are the questions we are
which are sacrosanct.
Of course, because what they are doing now, I suspend national chairman, I suspend state chairman, I suspend the governor. Under what expense? But I pray that they don't suspend me.
Well, Brett Onaiwo, let's have a bite of your opinion in this.
Okay, basically, let me approach it from the point of view of this factional team. Permit me to quote Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 11:19. It was a letter written to the Corinthians, the church in Corinth. He said in verse 18, it says, I hear that there are divisions among you. In verse 18, he says, there must be faction amongst you. so that those who are approved may be known. Now, faction is not a problem.
All right.
Faction is endemic in politics. You know why? You have different people with different philosophical views, with different ideas, like my brother said, coming together, particularly with reference to the way APC was formed.
Different ideas.
Different ideas came together.
That is divergent from the ideas of the party.
No, hold on. I will explain that. First of all, you had people coming together from different political platforms, as it were. They came together with the intention of forming a new singular ideological belief. Platform. And at the end of the day, you see people fearing to be part of that stuff. Why? Because they want to be part of the power broker in this country. What we have today in APC, I tell you, the faction that is coming up in APC today, whether in the Edo State, whether at the national level, is for the good of the people. Why? Let me tell you something.
So the people should be happy.
Yes. Let me explain to you. The best man that can check you is you. The best person that can check me is me. If I can check myself, the best people that can check a people or that can check a family is that family. First time it is happening in the history of Nigeria, a political party checking itself. APC is going through self-cleansing. APC is going through self-cleansing. So we are those that are doing it. They are not doing it for personal interest. Most of these figureheads, they can stay on their own. They have businesses. They can stay. They can do their business and enjoy. But the chief agenda, the chief purpose of taking that decision to say, I want to be part of the stakeholder, I want to be part of contributing to the affairs, the political affairs of my country, is not there.
Okay, we keep talking about the need for the state government to focus. Now, Patrick Iholo made mention of some very vital, viable points that the government of the day should score on. Don't you think this anomaly, this gulf, is a distraction to all of this?
Listen, let me tell you, the first thing when you are elected as a governor or as a president, your business is to face governance. Let me open up to you. When this government came, I was the secretary of the All Progressive Congress in Ego. The governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, came there. I gave him the mic. He told us there. Look, I will face governance. Why? I will let the politicians do the politicking. He said, and I quote, I am not a politician. How come all of a sudden you are not a politician, you now want to play politics? Two, there was an agreement.
Can you take politics away from governance? Is it possible?
Hold on. Let me explain. You cannot take politics away. By virtue of our being, we are all political animals.
Okay.
But the issue is that, you see, there are agreements. One.
Are these agreements documented?
Let me define it. I just told you that the man came. He said, I don't want to play politics. Immediately after I came to power, let me tell you where the problem started. Maybe a lot of people have forgotten. There was a call. There was something called the state caucus. At the level of the state caucus, the constitution defines those who can attend that meeting. Comrade Oshiomhole was there. The governor himself was there. The deputy governor was there. The SSG was there. The chairman of the party was there. And other top dignitaries in the party, because the constitution stipulates those who are supposed to attend. In that meeting, they all agree that Comrade Oshiomhole is the chairman of the caucus. By that singular arrangement, he behoves on him, or it has been agreed that he leads the party. The problem started when the man who was supposed to face governance, as he has told us, began to do the things the other leader was supposed to do, the leader was supposed to do.
That are detrimental to the benefits of the other leaders.
I don't mean to
okay, no, please. I want.
Can I just say something? I don't,
yes.
Please, just want something. What I'm going to ask here, is it possible to have an omelette without egg?
Okay, I think we'll try to attend that. But Greg Ogegwa,
I'm going to govern and I'm not going to play politics. Okay. You can never have an omelette without egg.
Okay, so politics is part of it?
Yes.
All right. Now, Greg Ogegwa, what do you make of this? Because he has made a lot of statements in that direction.
And these are the kind of statements that are what you call, they can be distracting and they can be dangerous. Okay. Because I want to give you a perfect example now. If he says and he claims that the leadership, the political leadership of Edo State was abdicated to Comrade Oshiomhole by the governor, Because by convention and the APC convention and all other political party conventions, the president is the head of the party in the country. He's the national leader, apart from national leaders. The party in every state, is the leader is the governor. Let us now assume that the governor concedes that leadership to Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. Whose responsibility is it to make sure that the political leaders of the party are kept? Because one of the accusations that Comrade Adams Oshiomhole made against the governor was that he doesn't carry the political leaders along. At national level, they just accused him of not calling an executive meeting since August of 2018. He is let us even assume that he's the political leader of Edo State, which, for example, right now, we have no confidence whatsoever in. Because all he has done is sow division at national level, at state level, and at local government level. That's what he has done. So anybody who wants to come around and play some sort of hero worship or some sort of thing, he's not thinking about this thing properly. If he's the political leader, how can he not hold the political leadership together? If you say the governor says, okay, I'm not a politician, I'm going to concentrate on governance, and you concentrate on the political leadership, how can the comrade now be accusing the governor of not carrying the political leaders along if he's the political leader? Isn't that illogical?
Okay, what is all this political leadership aiming at?
There's more to
because
it.
Yes, there's more to it, because
yes,
that is exactly what we want to see.
See, when they say all these things, what they're trying to do is, they think that they are trying to promote Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. In the process of doing that, they demean the man more. Because, wait, hold on, you can't. You had your own...
No, please, he has the floor. I'll come back to you. Yeah. He has the floor. Let him finish.
They demean the man more. Because I tell you, I've worked with that man for a long time. And I tell you one thing, the people who started this crisis, like EPM and so on, they didn't do it because they wanted the betterment of Edo State. They did it because some of them want to become governors. After Obaseki, they see that there's only one term left for Edo South. So they would do anything to upset the way it has been set up. But that's just a waste of time, you know. So they go and they believe that because a comrade is the national chairman. I just do not want to reveal certain private things that happened between myself, comrade, and the present governor, direct, which concern my vehicle, and I know you know.
Okay.
I'm aware of it.
Let's situate this properly, Greg.
Now, so
let's situate this properly. Now, when we talk about, yes, I'm still on. We need to understand better, in total, what this political leadership seems to benefit members or seem to benefit the people. Yes. Is it all about the people or about the members of the Congress?
It is supposed to be for the people. Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be. But then you now find that political leaders want to arrogate powers to themselves to decide the destiny of the people. They then want to become godfathers, so to speak. That is where that crisis, that gulf has come in.
Does it involve monetary gains?
Of course, because why else would you want power? In most cases, one of the reasons that Comrade Oshiomhole fought Chief Aneni was because Chief Aneni had taken control over the House of Assembly, and he could decide what was going to emerge on the budget or not. Well, after passing a budget in Edo State, the members of the House of Assembly who were majority PDP, and they had commissioners, they would go to Abuja with that same document. They will summon Chief Comrade Oshiomhole to Abuja, and then Chief Aneni would decide what will actually be done. And Comrade Oshiomhole came back from one of those trips in 2010 and said, never again. Never. Oh, no, yes, 2010.
Okay.
So you see, why is it that some people want to take control of the House of Assembly if it is not for the power of appropriation?
I'll come back to you. Osage consent.
I want to quickly make
No, please. I'll come back to you. Whatever you have to make, come back to you. You make an encyclopedia of them. Right. Now, Osage consent. You see what the people feel. Now they say when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. Now, what do you make of this whole issue?
Let me begin by saying that this is the first time I'm hearing that there's no big deal about faction, because one of the heights of conflict is when things become factionalized. There's a difference between disagreements and when things get to the faction point. It means the house is seriously divided and anything, is possible. Let me say three things. It is sad what is currently happening, but it reveals three things. Number one, it shows the quality and integrity of the people that represent us, the people we call leaders. It shows the quality and the integrity of these people. Then again, it also goes to show the credibility of our electoral processes. Because it is these same political gladiators that does whatever they want to do within the party that will still be involved in the general elections. So what I mean to say is that if anything is allowed to hold by, it means that we start making the electorate lose confidence in the system. Let me quickly say without apology, that it is the actions of the political leaders that makes people lose confidence in our electoral processes. Because if somebody say, I must have my way, then at the end of the day, what confidence will I have to vote, to stay under the sun, under the rain, and vote a leader that at the end of the day, when he gets there, is going to be more concerned about his power and his lordship than the system? Then let me also quickly say that what is currently playing out among the different political parties is an obvious disrespect of the electorate. It shows that for the political elite, quite a number of them, it may not be all, it shows that what is in their foremost heart is not about the people, it's about me. It is when personal interest overrides the sanity of a nation or popular interest, which is healthy for a nation. That is exactly what we are seeing. Let me take you back to the beginning and the origin of this crisis. Now, it's not making sense because when things start happening, you have to trace the origin. What's the origin of the crisis? The governor is not respecting a certain set of leaders. Then the governor fashion comes and says, hey, they want me to share money. Now, to date, that is the origin. Then, to date, that has now escalated and it has compounded the whole scenario. Now, like what Comrade Patrick was saying, how does it affect the commoner? How does that crisis or that conflict affect basic communities? We are still dearly in need of unemployment today. I mean, there's still a larger chunk of our population, youth, that are unemployed. There's still problem with our health sector today. And I really want to say that at the end of the day, I don't see how the commoners are benefiting. Because do you know what crisis does? It distracts the government in power. It makes the government start fighting something else. And don't also forget, in every political crisis, money is involved. You have to get this settled. This is Nigeria. We're all Nigerians. There are always monetary intonation. Nobody will leave a state out of assembly if at the end of the day it does not have an assurance or something. You know, we have to interpret it from that divide. Then at the end of the day, instead of the government focusing on developmental projects that will affect the commoners, he's channeling all his energy, intellect, and capacity towards ensuring that he abates the system, or he rules the system, or is in charge of the system. And that's not healthy. Please, I want to say this. That's not healthy for the commoners. But let me land on this point. Let me round up on this point.
What would you have expected the governor to do in this scenario?
Not follow the Constitution.
First of all, let's say that part of the problem we have is when we have people that do not respect the rules of law, guidelines, regulations. That's part of the problem we have. Then part of my disappointment is that, like what the prince was saying, you know, I was still a student then, as at 2013 or 2015. You know, we were all so excited when we heard that there was a hero that came out on board to say no to godfatherism, no to empirism, no to somebody wanting to law the system. When we got the news, I remember there I was on campus, when we heard the news of the verdict at the court, you know, the whole campus was excited. At last, there's a breed of hair. Then at the end of the day, what are we saying? We are seeing a situation where people believe that it is my own interest and my stance that must take preeminence. And at the end of the day, we, the citizens, suffer for it. Because currently as it is now, it's not about development, it's not about project, it's about how do I win this fight? Now, obviously, we are in a fight among the political parties, I mean to say.
Resolving this crisis, I think it brings us back to my earlier question, which I still see unanswered. Now, the APC governors did come up and say that the national chairman should call for a NEC meeting in resolving all of these issues or resign. Do you concur with that?
Well, you know, I'm not part of the APC. I don't have their card. I'm also not part of PDP. I have in many occasions said here that the two political parties we have today are dysfunctional. They are like children who really don't.
We don't have we have more than two political parties.
Wait, I mean, we have more than that. But the two political parties that are really in the aims of affair in this country, they are like children who doesn't represent their parents who doesn't match their DNA. You know what I mean? When somebody doesn't match DNA, you know what we call that, right? Now, let me go back again. What my last speaker, my brother, said, Osage. You know, I agree with him in so many extent, but I disagree that perhaps my brother Osage thought that the citizens have lost their rights. They are frustrated. They will not want to go to the polling booths because these bosses who are leading us are not doing what is right. You see, there is difference between a leader and a boss. I see my brother, respected Osage, keep using the word leader. And that's encouragement. You don't encourage what is bad. These people, they have not led anything. They are not leaders.
So they are bosses?
They are bosses. And bosses in America, people like Lucky Luciano and all that, friends will agree with me, we fought them, they're wrong.
So bosses are like taskmasters?
Yeah, no, they're bosses. These are bosses. These are godfathers. These are not leaders. There's difference between a leader and a boss. A boss is one who asks, what is the way forward? How can we do it? I mean, a leader is the one who asks that question. But a boss will say, get rid of them. Come on, cut their throat off. Is that not exactly what the Governors Forum are saying? That let there be a neck meeting. As I told you, I don't in order to resolve that. I said so I'm not part of APC. Isn't that along the leadership line? Do you know where everything has collapsed? Yeah. Now, in America today, Donald Trump is going through impeachments because Biden's son did a business in Ukraine. And the only way Donald Trump can continue to support Ukraine is for the Ukrainians to persecute Biden's son. And America said, this is not our constitution. You are aiding and abetting a foreign country to intervene in our sovereignty. I will not accept it. This is impeachable offense. Whereas if in this country, nobody will speak about it. Where am I going with this? Whether you're talking about the past and the present, they all have a question to answer. What I think we should be discussing on this platform is how to educate the electorate, is how to go out there and let people know that the government belongs to them, that these people are supposed to serve us. So this golf in the party is also distracting us? This is distracting us. We're supposed to educate people. Listen, you have people talking about how to vote, who is coming back in social media. Let me give you one prime example of how backward we've become as a nation. Recently, Dino Melayo was campaigning. He was campaigning himself as more muscular or having more higher libido when it comes to doing that thing. Because we're on TV, right? Is that campaign? You go to a campaign, people are building brand. Which one you do, which one you did, Obaseki for governor, now we did. Is that what you want to hear? Now, you ask the people that, as a governor of this state, my friend, my brother Obaseki, when was the last time he spoke to the Edolites? Who voted you into power? Who voted into power? When Obaseki wants to speak, he speaks on the angle on his disagreement with Oshiomhole, not on what we want as a state. And very recently too here, civil society people were beaten, civil society. Journalists were beaten and the camera was taken from him. As Obaseki or the PDP, have they ever make anything public about that? You journalists, don't forget that. You eat fire for us to drink water. If you have a governor of a state who allows civil society to be beaten, who allowed journalists to be beaten, and without making comment on it, if he is not the one that sent them, it means he adopts it. It means he accepts it, that he's responsible to beat a journalist or to fight a man of civil society. So we should be talking about us, not about them, because these are all distractions. Okay, I think I have a lot that Prince Gregory Gogwa will have to react upon. But before that, Brighton, I will...
Yes. You see, first of all, let me...
No. My question here is that, what does it take to call for a NEC meeting? It seems the national chairman is dodging that. What do you think?
Before I come to your question, let me quickly make a correction on leadership. You see, the party is a platform. The party produces those that handle political offices. A man cannot be bigger than a platform. It's like you are saying you are bigger than your community. It's not possible. If I'm sent here today, I'm speaking on behalf of APC. I cannot be bigger than APC. The governor cannot be bigger than APC. Adam Oshiomhole himself cannot be bigger than APC. Neither can the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria be bigger than his political party.
So?
Now, the issue is this. Who is the leader? Let me go back to the question. There's nothing like leadership in the question of
You are still leaving the question.
I said I'm coming back there. I'm responding to a statement he made earlier.
All right.
There is nothing. There's no. I have the constitution in my car. There's no word leader there. It's honorary. That's why I said
conventional.
It's honorary. It's conventional and it's honorary. At the national level, you will agree with me that Bola Tinubu is the national leader of the party. It is agreed. At the doorstep, that's why I said the condition for which Oshiomhole can be said to be the true leader is at the caucus. The caucus is in the constitution. You sat down. The governor agreed, sat down. He was there, he did not challenge the man. He said, you are the chairman of the caucus. The caucus is the apex decision-making body of the party at the state level, the state caucus.
But some will say for a progressive that wants peace, tranquility, for the state,
yes,
nothing is too big to be sacrificed.
So, wait. I'm coming to that.
Shouldn't we be looking in that direction?
Now, as we speak now, there is no meeting convened to say Oshiomhole has relinquished or he has been removed. That's the point I want to make. Let me come to your question. You see, the business of the party is enshrined in the constitution of the All Progressives Congress. There are procedures for calling meetings. If you look at it, the National Working Committee is saddled with the responsibility of managing the day-to-day affairs of the party. So it behoves on the leader, the man at the helm of affairs, who happens to be the comrade national chairman now, Oshiomhole, to determine the time to call for that meeting.
To determine the time.
Yes.
So he can fix the time.
Yes, he can.
And no other person.
Yes, he's the one.
Okay,
He's the one. He fixes the time.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
Yes.
Now, we call it All Progressive Congress. Take it from that point, Greg.
See, first of all, like I said, the All Progressives Congress is not a political party. It's a combination of political parties and affiliations. That's the first definition of the word Congress. Like Nigerian Labour Congress is not one political, one labor union. It's a conglomeration of different political labor unions. That is the pure definition. I've got a degree in politics, so I'm not stating the everyday layman's definition of political party and political congress. I'm speaking of the precise scientific definition, politically scientific definition of Congress and party. And that name wasn't chosen by mistake. So that's number one. Now, this issue of my brother here was very wrong by saying it is the national chairman that decides when the National Executive Council meets. It is not true. In the Constitution, it says that every quarter, they must meet within every quarter to review the activities of the party. That's what it says. That's what the Constitution says. And so if you have not held a meeting since August 2018 till November of 2019, how many quarters are there? 4.5. And then you want to come and turn around and say that somebody is not carrying political leaders along. That's a kettle calling the pot black. How can you say, at the national level, they are saying you, who is the national chairman, you are not carrying us along. Those are the governors who are the major stakeholders of the party. And then you are turning around and saying that Governor Obaseki is not carrying political leaders along in Edo State, and you are the political leader of Edo State.
Okay.
You can't eat your cake and have it.
Okay, looking at the road to 2020, because there are allegations that the governor is planning to seek a re-election through the People's Democratic Party.
No. Look, let me tell you something. Edo State has a political record, history, antecedents of how we produce our governors. Governor Ambrose Ali in 1983 got a second term consensus. In 1999 and in 2003, Lucky Binedion got consensus, second term, no vacancy in Denis Osadebe. When Oshiomhole was there as governor in 2012, it was consensus. No primaries, nothing. It was direct, no vacancy. In 2020, no vacancy in Denis Osadebe. It is our political history, our political convention, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay,
are you saying
You basically speak. There is room for fairness now. Let them speak for all actors.
Please, I'm the alpha of the show. Please, gentlemen,
Listen,
listen, can we decorum, please?
Let him talk.
Decorum, please.
Let him talk.
We'll be taking a short break.
Show some respect, Greg. The speaker is talking.
Don't miss it.
We blamed ourselves enough. We complained enough. We cried enough. We fought ourselves enough. We've hated ourselves enough. It's time to do what the Bible says.
Well, such as it is a live studio, and basically issues of this nature are very, very sporadic, sensitive, you call it. And we are trying to find a compass home in settling this issue. This issue has been on for quite a long time, and we want to close the gap. And it's expected that as we toss a question to every guest, the other guest should be civilized enough to at least allow the guest that has the floor to finish. And before that break, we had Prince Gregory Ogiogwa on the floor.
As I was saying, the Constitution recognizes 3 forms of candidates emerging. Number one is consensus. Number 2, direct primaries. And number 3, indirect primaries. And in this Edo state, regardless of the political party, that first option has always been taken, has always been chosen. So for anybody to now come and think that they are manipulating one kind of strategy somewhere and all that to try and change that antecedent or that precedent, the person is joking.
Okay, Greg.
You can't change the goalposts in the middle of the game.
Have we passed the stage of settling this within the party?
There is only one way to settle it. We follow the constitution of the party. The constitution of the party lays that it doesn't regard personalities. It only talks about the principles.
Okay, but again, are you also worried by the fact that all of this could consume the party to a point where the victory will go to another party if all of this continues?
No. What you see, where I'm really, the part that really interests me is how does the government keep focus while this is going on? And if you had listened to when my brother was saying that the governor has not spoken to Edo people in the last, that's not true. Just 2 days ago, Alagudaro was a complete.
Greg, that's the point. I'll come back to you. Just let him finish.
You know, a complete compendium of his achievements over 3 years. How many jobs he has created? 157,000. And then the Edo Best. The amount of schools and students that has brought in. And so on and so forth. The road networks in the communities. In the different communities, the road networks and so on that are being built. Even before this program started, we were talking about the development of Ward 2, GRA in Benin. So, and so on and so forth. The governor has laid down a compendium of what he has done. Agreed that the financial resources are not the same as they used to be, and that we're operating under a much more different financial environment. The question is this: when the collectivity of the leadership of the APC chose Godwin Obaseki, who he claims that he claimed he was not a politician, that he's going to just focus on governance. When we chose him, what was the reason that we chose him? Because we knew we were going to go through difficult economic and financial environments. Because we knew that we needed somebody who would concentrate on paying teachers, on paying civil servants, on paying contractors, on making sure that everything that was started in the previous APC administration for 8 years continued along those lines as much as possible.
Okay, thank you.
But not to continue to service politicians who don't want who are just seeking political
Thank
jobs.
you, Greg. You've articulated your point. Now, Osagi got sent. We're looking at the way forward. You are not a party member, but looking at the what we have on the ground, you did say that this is a distraction to the governor of the state, and looking at the plan to get a re-election. What do you make of this ambition?
Let me quickly say that it's sad what is happening. For me, I have said this several times. I'm totally fed up of the 2 dominant political parties in this nation. I think it's about time we have to try another. You know, sometimes, let me quickly say this, it is internal party democracy that determines the overall governance at the end of the day. Why? Because the governor or whosoever is elected on that particular platform is emanating from that party. And don't also forget that before this whole crisis were heightened, this issue had been lingering on. At the time the governor had to leave the state, you know, he went on vacation anyway. But to just clear his mind. When he came back, he had a meeting just to clear his mind because of all this internal...
But he came back and met it, and the mind is still seeming uncleared.
You know, but again, let me quickly say this.
Yes.
This crisis is dangerous for the APC. Because, again, why the leaders... Now, we quite agree that leadership, the leaders of the party may not necessarily have to be neglected. But the question I've always asked is, what exactly does these leaders want? They have not been able to articulate their point.
Thank you.
We are not being taken along, we are not in what
Which way?
Exactly. You know, that's the reason why I said from the origin, the crisis is not even making sense. And that's why, as an ordinary citizen of this state, I would say it's a distraction for us.
The way forward.
We are satisfied.
The way forward in a minute. The way forward in a minute as we round off.
There is need for the governor to remain focused and to make sure he does everything within the ambit of the Constitution. Because at the end of the day, the law is going to interpret. You know, then again, this also goes as a warning. Because the average electorate are watching. We also must be smart enough to know those that are governing us. We must be smart enough to connect history and the present realities. We must be smart enough to get ready towards voting out all those that are out to suck out the life out of the state.
Thank you.
Because at the end of the day, we are the ones at the receiving end of this whole jamboree.
Thank you. We are running off your final words and your reaction to all of this.
I don't know if you are rounding up because I think the time is too short to discuss this really. You know?
Yes, but react and round off.
Well, I'm not going to react to it.
I'm not giving you any time limit yet, but I could cut it when you are beyond your scale.
I will not react to what he said because it's making sense what he's saying. If you use the word reacting, it means you are saying that I should batch him.
No, before now, you were having some reactions over what Greg Ogugwa had.
Wait,
so share the opinion.
Listen, my brother, my friend Ogugwa, right? He's a politician, and he has a degree in that. You just said that, okay? Do you know that the same Ogugwa was once with Adam Oshiomhole?
Yes.
Defending him here at all time?
Yes.
So if he's defending the bar circuit today, it's not unusual.
Yes.
Now, I'm going there now. Now, I think what Ogugwa will pay more attention to should be the area of litigation. In the past 25 years, I have speak truth to power. I don't care who is there. I speak truth to power, okay? Now, it will interest you that the same saint we have today, the Obaseki, he was the economic team manager to Adam Oshiomhole. He was connected with the water storm. The same governor used his own company to consult and get 10%. Record is he can sue me if I'm lying. He got money from that, and it's unconstitutional. Okay, then he can take me to court. I'm saying that he did it. Yeah, if you are saying it's not true, then he can take me to court. I want to take me to court. And also now,
okay, how do we resolve this? How do we resolve the round? Now you have 30 seconds.
Now the same governor who was there before Obaseki also took him to court when he was going to sell the Edo house in Lagos. Okay? And I was the same person again who took Iyaro to court under the FOI that we are using today. So if you are going to come here and say we should move the country forward, we should first of all establish the rule of law.
But do you agree? Do you agree all of this is distracting the government?
No, I do agree because they want the distraction. I do not believe that any governor, that is why state police will not work here, believe that he has the power, that when you say anything against him, he's going to go after your father or your mother, your sister or yourself to imprison or kill you. I know that Obaseki has imprisoned a lot of activists in this state. People like Kola Idopolo was in prison for about 2 months for just saying what is right. Today, as
drive a point home.
I'm going home now.
You have 10 seconds left.
Because he said Obaseki has been speaking. He spoke about Olarodao. As Obaseki condemned the use of thuggery, as he condemned people seizing cameras from journalists.
Okay, thank you.
As he condemned people beating members of civil society.
Thank you.
As he talked to us as a those citizen or how he can move our state forward.
You've exceeded the time. Thank you. Onaiwo, as we round off, you have 2 minutes.
The first thing I want to make clear here is that the position of the Constitution on how to evolve or how to get the candidate of the party, I absolutely disagree with Ogugwa. That is very wrong to come here to tell us that number one is consensus.
And
the first one is direct primaries. The second is indirect primaries. And it further
as the Constitution holds?
Yes, that is the position of, I'm quoting the Constitution. It's inside my car. I won't bring it. I carry it everywhere.
Consensus doesn't exist.
Hold on. It is only when there are two situations where you will only go for consensus. If there is one aspirant, it will be a consensus. If there are one or two aspirants and the remaining ones are saying, look, we are going to step down for this, our brother. That's what you talk about consensus. And the reason for that says, if there is a consensus, you call a meeting of the stakeholders where they will unitedly agree and pass a vote on that they have agreed. So I am correcting you now that you are very wrong to have claimed that consensus. You are deceiving the people. Number two, hold on, sir. So the issue of the cause of the problem, for every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. When you start lying, people will start to fight you. I am saying it without fear or favor. That Obaseki has lied to the people of Edo State. He has lied to the people of the All Progressive Congress. That's the cause of the problem. You cannot tell us that you want to do. I was in a meeting in Ameko's house. It was a stakeholder meeting. He said, hey, do you know what I'm going to do? Few days to his election. He said, no, he called it. He can still remember. He said, Western bypass. Ask him, where is Western bypass today?
Okay, thank you. You have to continue your point. I take that as your final submission. Now, in 1 minute, Greg Ogiogwa.
Thank you, sir. You see, one thing that is basic is this. My brother here said it very clearly. All these people that are EPM and so on that are fighting Obaseki, what is the problem? What is the meaning of not carrying political leaders along? Especially when the EPM people have now said that Oshiomhole is the political leader. The same governors are accusing Oshiomhole at federal level of not carrying political leaders along. That's one. Now, the most important thing, like I've said before, is to look at what Obaseki has achieved in 3 years. And in those 3 years, he said it himself at Alagidaro, 157,000 jobs. Road network in communities, enabling farmers, increasing the volume of the grassroots economy. And I'm proud. The community knows. He's seen my farm. He knows.
Of course, I can attest to that.
He knows. And in the last 1-2 years, how many people we have employed? And next year, what we are projecting. And that is only because of this government. Because I was in government before, like you said, I worked with Adams Oshiomhole.
All right, thank you.
But so you see, there is a clear distinction. And we're not saying that Comrade Oshiomhole is a bad man. You see, neither are we saying that Godwin Obaseki is a saint. What we are saying is that the people of Edo State deserve peace of mind so that we can progress. And they should allow the governor do what we have done for other governors, which is give them 8 years of uninterrupted governance with peace of mind. Instead of some people who think that because they want to usurp power and interrupt our progress to come to step in. 8 years. No, no vacancy in Denis Osadebe. So anything.
Okay, thank you, Osage got sense. I think you have less than 10 seconds.
Okay, now let me just quickly say to the political elite that things are not the way they used to be 10 years ago. The electorate are watching. We are not stupid.
Thank you.
So the electorate also should be smart. This is the right time to decide who becomes who in the next election.
Well, thank you. Next year, Edo 2020 comes up like a hurricane upon us. Big thanks, Osage. And of course, big thanks, Greg Ogiogwa and Bright Onaiwu. Thank you. And of course, Patrick Iholo. We have two Osages here.
Yes.
But you are now AK Ultimate Equal. We are going to know what that means.
AKA is otherwise known as Ultimate Equal.
Oh, yes.
AKA is a name.
Okay, it's otherwise known as Ultimate Equal.
That's Anini, AKA is Anini.
All right, on this note, we call it a wrap on this discussion segment. But we'll be coming on in a jiffy, extending the frontiers of this discussion. Don't you go away.
We blamed ourselves enough. We complained enough. We cried enough. We fought ourselves enough. We've hated ourselves enough. It's time to do what the Bible says. Come together as a people. Come, let's build a new virile nation. If we all want to look at the ugly side of Nigeria, we find nothing good at it. I do not know any other country in Africa that is as big as ours, that is as populated, and so much blessed with natural resources, blessed with natural gifts of God, whosoever you are. This is one country that we have to join our hands to build it together and get a new nation. Nigeria must not be destroyed. We can make that determination. Whether you are in the police, whether you are in the army, particularly those of you that God has given grace in position of rulership, we have a right to call the nation to new attention. God is able to heal Nigeria.
The Yuletide is here again.
Oh Lord, our eyes are on you. So,
shower your blessing. But God does not come down. He sends his vessels.
Yeah, ITV Radio presents the Sambalidating Father Christmas, aka Father Blessing, to shower gifts this season.
Kindly invite ITV Radio Sambalidating Father Christmas, aka Father Blessing, to put smiles on the faces of your children. Visitation commences November 2019.
We hereby call on schools, churches, and corporate organizations to make their booking now, as visitation is on first come, first served basis.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
For booking, call 0708 365 2474.
This show is supported by IKO Gas and Sons Limited, dealers in all kinds of phones and accessories, 4G Wi-Fi, gadgets, SIM cards, registration, and many more. Located at Shop 18 Golden Plaza, 17 First Ibiwe Street, off Upper Market Road, Benin City. Petrol Tracking Services Limited, experts in professional certificate training programs such as health, safety, and environmental management, introduction to rig operations, pipeline maintenance, and non-destructive testing level 1 and 2. Number 12, Iribi Road, Oko ADP, GRA, Benin City.
Silvercast American Technology Battery for original inverters, long-lasting Silvercast batteries for cars, trucks, caterpillars, and generators. 104 Akwapawa Road, opposite Polaris Bank, Benin City. Vuen Clothing for quality textiles, lace, Daviva, High Target, Super Print, Hollandis, London Wax, Brocade, Satin, and many more. 63 Mission Road, opposite Access Bank, Benin City.
ITV and Radio Sambalidating Father Christmas.
Shower your blessings.
Today on Edo 2020, from my extreme left, I have Stanley Osaze. Thanks for coming, Stanley.
Thank you very much for having me.
And of course, I have Felix Isere.
Thank you very much.
Felix Isere is a legal practitioner.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Fares, the name again? Fares Okpere. Yeah. All right, so Fares Okpere, good to know that you're joining us on this platform. But quickly, let's share your thoughts in respect of what has been transpiring in the APC Edo State chapter in resolving this issue.
I will summarize it with one word. It's very regrettable that we are seeing what is going on. You know, 3 years ago when we were campaigning for the elections, then Governor Oshiomhole, you know, when he was bringing in the current governor at that time, said he was a man that he believed in. He was a technocrat, he was someone who he believed was the engine room of his own governance. And then that's why he was presenting him to us. And 3 years later, the same former governor, Oshiomhole, now going for the jugular. It's very sad that we are seeing this because this kind of distractions has put governance on one side. Now, people are no longer talking about the infrastructure and the critical things that will drive our economy. What we're now seeing is political gladiators fighting openly in the streets and disrespecting the system. You know, and I think in all of this, the blame will always go, a larger portion of the blame will always go to the national chairman of the APC because he hasn't played a fatherly role in this crisis. And secondly, he hasn't understood that he's the national chairman of the APC and not the governor anymore. You know, there is a constituency that the national chairman should operate on. And he's not operating on that constituency. He cannot be national chairman at the same time continue to meddle in petty ward and local government politics. I've never seen any national chairman who condescend to that level to come down and start determining who will be local government chairman, or who will be this, who will be that, or who will be House of Assembly members.
Okay.
You know, so he has totally lost it. And it's earlier, and it's the right time for all those involved in this crisis to come down, put their heads together, and think of a way to resolve this crisis in the interest of the people.
Okay. Felix Isere.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I'm not a prophet. My father is not also a prophet, but sometimes God borrow my mouth to make some statements. I was in this studio on Saturday, Politics Today, where I said it very clear that a time will come when the governor will sit down, he will be the only one sitting down alone. Everybody will desert him. I made allusion to a call I made to one of his very strong supporters, one of those who are chatting 4 talk by everywhere. After he meeting the hair where they purportedly endorsed him, I asked him, why did you guys endorse him? The guy told me that we are doing these things because of the money that is involved. It's not because we love this man. This man that told us that he doesn't want to share the money, now he wants us to support him for a second, now he's not sharing the money. When we are done eating the money, we will leave him.
So, which means all about this is the money.
Yes, all about this is the money.
Even the crisis within the party.
No, I'm going somewhere.
It's all about the money because you may mention the fact that he didn't want to share the money, but now he wants to share the money.
I'm not saying people with him right now.
Okay.
This is the language of somebody that is with him.
Okay.
That's why I'm surprised.
Okay.
That this guy is not really supporting the governor because the guy has done anything, because the man is looking for money.
But is it not a disappointment that people should have this value?
Yes, it's a disappointment.
About governance,
yes.
When they were supposed to leave the governor to focus and do something about the people of the state.
It's not about the governor, that nobody is stopping him from performing. Nobody is stopping him. This is about an election.
Nobody is stopping him, but don't you think this is a distraction?
I wish you would allow me to express myself freely, please. Allow me to express myself. Maybe later you will ask me a question. I was going somewhere. Why did I make allusion to that? On Tuesday in Edo State, on Tuesday, I can tell you that historically, on Tuesday marks the beginning of the end of the ambition of the governor for a second term. Why did I say so? A city governor in the state was city governor. The members of the state working committee, more than 12 of them signed and removed the only eye that he has, the chairman. Let me quickly say this for the purpose of those who really don't know what happened, which I am privy to. What happened was the fact that 12 out of the 17 members of the state executive, 12 they signed. In that meeting in the evening, there were 2 of them who later came on air to come and say that, they were not part of it. If you could see the way they were talking. What happened was the fact that after they have done the removal of the former chairman of the party, Oshiomhole, one of them, the lady inside Ogodoa, came with a guy. It was in that meeting when they were done, the woman told the court told the man that this is exactly what we have done. The man being somebody who is sympathetic to Obaseki now made some call.
Okay.
So at night, the information I got to meet other people that these guys are aware of what we have done. They started running, they know that they are going to send talks after them. They started running out of Benin.
Okay, we don't need all of this story, so but what we just need to do is to situate the way forward in resolving the crisis. So but that has overtaken you now. I'll come back to you on that. So let's get your opening in this.
Very firstly, we need to understand the fact that my brother has done justice to majority of what we are supposed to be discussing here today, which is the overall goal and objective of this fight is the money. That the government is not sharing money. And as at now that is being challenged, is not sharing money. I, for one, I will not jettison stomach infrastructure in politics. It is normal. But it should not override the overall interest of the people. Now let's look at how this crisis generated and what led to this crisis.
Thank you. We'll do that after this time out. We'll be taking a break. After this break, we'll be continuing with the discussion. Stay with me. Don't you go away.
When the bed do they enter body.
Thing really pissed me off now when I want to talk. I go use your platform to talk this thing.
If I talk here, no go finish. So more I want it for your program here. I go expose everybody.
On a Saturday morning, that's the exact feel you get as you tune in to the Saturday show with your host to the most, Sydney Shocker on ITV.
Able God. Shower your blessings on this Melissa. Hey, she won't drive Bentley. Able God.
What about the place I was speaking about so much grace? Nobody heard that part.
8 a.m. Never you miss out.
Sydney Shocker, man, you've been holding it down for ages, man. Keep listening to Sydney Shocker. You understand? We'll shock you. Come on, Lego attention. Believe the voltage of the shock.
Good
morning and big thanks for joining me on the news update. I'm Philip Omogupon. Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki yesterday presented a budget estimate of 177.6 billion naira for the 2020 fiscal year to the Edo State House of Assembly. The figure represents 85.5 billion naira for a current expenditure and 92 billion naira for capital projects. Kingsley Uchebu brings details.
Governor Baseki explained that the 2020 budget estimate, which is to consolidate on the 2019 budget, is premised on a projected revenue of 68 billion naira as statutory allocation, 14.5 billion naira as value-added tax, 40.3 billion naira as internally generated revenue, 18.6 billion naira from grants, and the remaining 32 billion naira to be sourced from development financing. The governor also premised the 2020 budget estimate on a $60 per barrel of oil and 3.2 million barrels per day, while internally generated revenues are expected to increase in the state. In the 2020 budget estimate, Governor Baseki said 3 billion naira was budgeted for the hosting of the National Sports Festival and FIFA Women Under-20 World Cup, 8 billion naira for development of College of Education campuses in Afuze and Abudu, as well as extending a Do-Best program to junior secondary schools across the state, while primary healthcare reforms gets 1 billion naira. On workers' welfare, the governor said there is an expected increase in personnel costs due to implementation of new minimum wage, while there will be 60% increase in pension to ensure all remittances to the contributing pension scheme, while local government workers will be included in the scheme from January 2020. Governor Baseki also announced that his government will not undertake any new project in 2020, rather will ensure completion of all projects initiated and inherited by his administration for governance to have direct impact on the people of the state.
We have continued to record successes in the last 3 years, despite the challenges we face, which we have surmounted on the back of a robust relationship we enjoy with this honorable house. We're also immensely grateful to the judiciary for their forthrightness and unsoiled integrity in upholding the rule of law and preventing the reign of terror in our state. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I'm also not oblivious of the fact that despite the machinations of enemies of democracy, Edo State continues to break new grounds.
The Speaker, Mr. Francis Okie, commended the State Governor for redefining narratives of Edo State, assuring that the House of Assembly will do justice to the bill, while the House Leader, Roland Asoro, assured that members will ensure the passage of the bill in the interest of Edo people.
I want to thank your courage. Edo State have heard you. Those of us here have carefully listened, and I'm very, very sure we will be doing justice to the best of our ability.
Continue to synergize the executive to ensure that this 2020 appropriation bill is given the most desired consideration, speedy consideration.
High point was a presentation of the appropriation bill by Governor Baseki to the Speaker, who thereafter directed it to be given first reading, and for the Committee on Rules, Business and Government House to slate it for second reading on Monday. Kingsley Uchebu reporting.
The Executive Council of the Edo State Chapter of the All Progressive Congress has ratified the suspension of the National Chairman of the party, Comrade Oshiomhole, from the party in the state. The decision was reached at an enlarged meeting of the council and other party chieftains with the state governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, in Benin City. At the meeting, the leaders said the suspension of Comrade Oshiomhole became necessary because the national chairman has been deploying divisive tactics to cause disharmony in the party in collaboration with the proscribed group, Edo People's Movement. While addressing APC leaders from the 18 local government area of the state chairman of the APC, Ansemo Jeswa, traced the genesis of the crisis to the primary elections in 2018, stressing that after the elections, Edo APC didn't know peace again. Jeswa said the news of his removal was shocking as the state working committee, which purportedly removed him, didn't have powers to do so, adding that it is only the state executive committee that has the powers to remove any officer. The APC local government chairmen have found out that Oshiomhole is the one behind the crisis in Edo APC, and following the findings, lost confidence in the leadership of the national chairman by passing a vote of no confidence in him. Considering the stand of this chairman and also based on the report from the organs of the party, we affirmed the suspension of Comrade Adams Oshiomhole from APC in Edo State. Also speaking, Governor Godwin Obaseki said when he first met Comrade Oshiomhole 12 years ago, they shared a common interest in salvaging Edo State. But all that has changed in recent times. Mr. Obaseki said no one made him governor, pointing out that he got to the position by God's grace with the support of many other people. A leader of the APC in Ovia Southwest local government area, Honorable Samuel Ekeneza, who moved the motion for the ratification of the suspension of Comrade Oshiomhole, said that the party remains supreme, as no individual is bigger than the political party. The motion for the ratification was supported by a leader of the APC in Eastern Central local government area, Mr. Osediame Oriaifo. And away from that, Edo State Police Command has debunked media reports that the Central Bank of Nigeria in Benin City was attacked by armed robbers. The command's public relations officer, DSP Chidu Wambuzo, while reacting to the incident, said there was no attack on Central Bank Benin City. Crime correspondent Wellington Akodeja has more.
The premises of Central Bank of Nigeria, situated on Akwaba Street, Benin City, was calm despite reports on conventional and social media that some armed men attempted to block a bullion van at the gates of the Central Bank, Benin, but were repaired by joint security personnel attached to the Central Bank. Though the incident was said to have happened on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., no trader or anyone around the premises of the Central Bank was willing to grant interview on the issue. The police public relations officer at the State Command, DSP Chidi Nwambuzo, could not be reached for comment, but DSP Nwambuzo, however, spoke with the popular independent television radio program Man Around Town, said there was no attack on Central Bank, contrary to speculation on social media platforms. DSP Nwambuzo said the police got a wind that suspected cultists gathered at the Obavorame Square, planning to unleash terror on the Arava group, which prompted the police to respond swiftly and arrest two of the suspects.
That rumor come say, our big bank called Central Bank of Nigeria, Benin City, say hoodlums don't go there to rob. Immediately, the command informed the squadron commander, 5 PMF Benin. Himself called the men when they there. You know, say that they stationed there with APC.
Yes.
As then we get the information, then quickly call those men there. Those men say, nothing like that. We there our post in the bar. You know, then reach the authorities there. Or the authorities there, nothing like that.
According to the police, two suspected cultists and their accomplices will be paraded soon. Wellington Akodeja reporting.
And on sports, Super Eagles of Nigeria yesterday defeated the scorers of Benin Republic 2-1 at the Gospel Akpabio Stadium, Uyo, in their first qualifying match for the 2021 African Cup of Nations. The visitors went ahead in the second minute of the game through Stephanie Sexton before Victor Osimhen restored parity for the Super Eagles before halftime from the penalty spot after Olaino was fouled inside the box. Samuel Carlo then put Nigeria ahead in the 63 minutes to secure the needed maximum points. Nigeria now leads Group L with 3 points after Lesotho played a 1-1 draw with Sierra Leone earlier yesterday. And this will call it a wrap on the news update. Shortly, we'll bring you the concluding part of TMI. Don't you go away.
Independent television, certainly the
Thank you. I still have the distinguished guests with me. I have Stanley Osaze. Thank you for still being here. And of course, Felix Isere. Thank you for still being here. And Fares Opere. Thank you for being here. Well, before the break for the news, Stanley Osaze had the floor.
Yes. There is no way we can jettison stomach infrastructure from politics. It is normal. But when the interest of your stomach outshine the overall interest and collective destiny of the people, it becomes an aberration. That is where we are now having challenges with some group of persons. Myself, as a party faithful, I played a huge role to ensure that this government gets into power. I was angry in the past, but believe you me, when we see the development impulses of this government coming outside to better the life of the people, there is every need for us to really say, let us give support to this government. Now, let's look at where this crisis came from. The truth of the matter is nobody on earth will be a governor and will be restricted from speaking directly or from doing what a governor is supposed to do. We understand there is a great discrepancy between the Oshiomhole administration and the Obaseki administration. With due respect to the national chairman, when the national chairman was the governor of Edo State, in fact, he starts and ends ESCO meeting. The only persons that can speak are those that will come back later to him, sir. When we are at that ESCO meeting, look at what we are supposed to do. If the idea is working, he can take it. But you dare not get up to say, hey, sir, I have something to say when Oshiomhole is speaking. But we expect the same. We expect him to respect the same situation when we have a separate governor. But during the party primaries, when this crisis started, there was a series of candidates that was picked by the party, as the case may be. Then the national chairman and his group came, upturned it, and selected the same people that they believe will suit the need of the party. At the end of the day, the governor agreed. But after the primary elections, the elections proper, even the governor celebrated the 18/18 victory. But what then happens? There was information coming from Bush Telegraph that there is a strategic plan by some group of persons who wants to take an advantage of the House of Assembly to get to the governor. Believe you me, if you are a governor, whether we like it or not, you will do all you could to defend yourself. That was why we saw, to me, I will not subscribe to the fact that the inauguration that was done in the House of Assembly in the night, in the nocturnal hour, was valid. But believe you me, outside the legal process, you look at the moral perspective.
Okay, you are not in support of that.
I'm not in support of the House of Assembly inauguration. I won't lie to you.
In spite of the fact that you are towing the position of the governor.
Yes, but I'm not in support of the House of Assembly. Oh. But I want to tell you this. The governor on his own have a right to defend himself. Because there's already an orchestrated attempt by some group of persons to trample the administration of the governor. He has no other option than to defend himself. While we are looking at it from the legal perspective, that an inauguration ought not be done in a nocturnal hour such as that. But from the governor's perspective, he believes that the only panacea for him to save himself is to do the needful, owing to the fact that there have been existing precedents.
Do you see that as fair?
In the past. No, in fairness, that's why Section 2 of the Evidence Act defined good conscience as being awareness of what is good and what is bad, and simply adhere to what is good. So what is good to you might be bad to me. So in this case, when you are looking at it from the legal perspective, to me, because I'm perceiving from the legal angle, I'm not subscribing to it. But from the moral perspective, I will tell you, majority of persons will support it. So this is not about my opinion. This is about the other divide wants to save himself. The other ones want to take over and lord over the other person. So the truth of the matter is this: if we stand on the mantra that say no to godfatherism, let us ensure that we do it into two. So robbing Peter to pay Paul will not be good in this period, in this state. What I'm trying to say right now, stricto sensu, is this: the governor on his own have the right to save himself. The national chairman wants to make sure that, yes, I decided. Before the governor came out in Abuja to cry out to say, will you be happy to have a governor that will not say anything, that cannot even nominate a single individual? See, believe you me, if I am a governor, I won't subscribe to that. I will jail everybody. This is Stanley. I will jail everybody. If you do that to me, I will jail you. But because of the fact that we know that we are in a democratic dispensation, we must begin to work within the ambit of the Constitution. And again, the suspension of this suspension this, the suspension of the state chairman is invalid. Believe you me. Why?
What makes you think so?
Yes. Now, it is the State Executive Committee that has the power whatsoever to do that. And again, if you look, for you to know that the National Working Committee has been positioned in a way and manner that will satisfy the collective interest of some group of elements, they now decide to say we are ratifying it, and we are still sending a fact-finding mission to the state. What is the constitution of the APC? The constitution of the APC stated categorically clear in section Article 21. I have the constitution states that if any of such situation prevails, it is the responsibility of the National Working Committee to set up a committee to look, a fact-finding committee to look into this issue. A report has not been made. You already adopted it because there is a calculated attempt somewhere. So to me, what they are doing is not for the interest of Edo people at all. It's for the interest of some group of disgruntled elements who believes.
Okay, but you can't go far to making sort of statements.
Oh, very sorry with that statement.
Yes.
The overall goal and objective of this person is to look for a way to control the party structure so as to be able to determine who becomes the next governor in 2020. But the point being made here is very clear. The governor has a right whatsoever to defend himself in totality. Why? It's politics. It's all about negotiation, influencing. But if you now decide to begin to use force or any other thing to satisfy your interests, it becomes an aberration and it will be detrimental to the collective destiny and development of Edo State.
Okay, we are looking forward to Edo 2020, and it is coming upon us like a hurricane. Now, we hear rumors about the fact that, as people are spreading it, that the governor seems to be seeking re-election in another party.
No, that's not true for now. I've heard similar rumors, but I can confirm that...
when you say that's not true for now?
Yeah, it's not true.
It could be true later?
Well, everybody have right to association. You know, in the Nigerian constitution, you have the right to associate with anybody you want to associate with.
With any party too?
Yeah, that's true. With any party. But for the now, there's no concrete evidence to point to that fact that the governor is trying to seek re-election in that party. He, as I know, he still have a huge control over his political party right now. You know, a lot of people point to the fact that there was a similar incident in Lagos. You know, I can say that those who say it do not understand the politics of Lagos. Lagos is very different from Edo. The governor in Lagos then, who lost his primaries, lost because he had very little control over his party. First of all, even those in his government were not supporting him. In terms of the SSG, the chief of staff, they were not supporting him.
So that's not a yardstick of comparison?
Yes, it's not a yardstick of comparison, because you have a different scenario here where you have a governor that still has a large control over most of the political elements in his own party. He still have very large followership also. And he still has a level of support from the populace, you know, so you cannot take that away from him. So I don't think there's any time that he will be going to another party to seek re-election.
Okay, but the suspension of the...
If the primaries is conducted today, you know, I'm not a member of his party, but if primaries is conducted today, I still think that he will win the primaries in his party if a free and fair primary is conducted right now. Okay. That aside, you know, so, but looking at the crisis that is ongoing, looking at the crisis, like I said before, it is not helpful to anybody. It's not helpful to the system. It's not helpful to the politicians. It's not helpful to the states. You know, we should be concentrating on the things that matters most. Infrastructure, we have a huge infrastructural deficit right now. And every political actor should come down to their right senses and think about how we can cut this infrastructural deficit, how Edo can be better, how do we move the state forward. You know, all these interests, if you look at it, the overriding one is most people pushing these narratives are doing that for their own personal interests. Nobody is thinking about the interest of the general state. Nobody is looking about the welfare of the people. Everybody, when this crisis started, you look at it, it started from the governor was not taking care of us. He abandoned those that voted for him. He abandoned those that supported him. He abandoned those that made it to power. If you go back, how did they abandon this people? It boils down to the issue of the governor not sharing money. Is the state money meant to be shared to individuals? That's a question we should also ask ourselves. The guy who was shouting, making videos recently about the governor, what was his gross? He had an agency that was used to collect money from Uber markets and bus drivers. And every day he was collecting 9.something million naira every day. And at the end of the month, he remits 2 million naira to the government. At the end of the month, the same system now is generating over 200 million naira monthly to the states. You understand? So, so when you see these kind of people complain that they were abandoned, you don't have sympathy for them. It becomes very difficult. And anybody who becomes governor tomorrow, whether in the next 4 years or in the next 8 years, has to continue on this path. You know, the resources of the state cannot be be meant for a very few individuals. I will never subscribe to that. And if the governor had decided to use that as part of his rule to govern the state, then he's not doing badly on that side. On that side, he's not a saint. You know, he has his own faults. He has his own sides. You know, but if the major opposition, which within his party right now, the EPM, as a group, if all they are asking for is that the governor did not take care of them, they don't have a good standing. They don't have a good argument. Because if you come and say, oh, the government did not share money to us, that's why we want him out, then the people will not support you. You won't have that support. And if the people who are promoting your agenda are those who are like retired politicians and people who are known talks in the state, are the one pushing your agenda, then people will not take you serious. Then you have to go back to your drawing board and get intellectuals to drive a decent agenda for you that people will listen to.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, Felix, as we round off, I'll be taking your final words on this segment. Basically, you are a legal practitioner, and so these people say this argument, if not properly guarded, could end up splitting the party into two. Is it possible to have two APC in Edo State?
Let me quickly correct an impression. You know, the only way people try to blackmail the authentic APC leaders right now is to say that they are looking for money because they didn't share money. Like what my friend rightly said.
When you say authentic, what do you mean? How do you authenticate?
As of yesterday, we now have an authentic APC comprising of the real stakeholders of the party.
Okay, what's the yardstick to authenticate? How do you know?
Allow me to flood. Like what my friend said some weeks ago, he was not supporting the governor, but now he supported the governor. That's his right. He has the right to do that. He has a genuine reason. He's also telling us that it was because the governor did share money, that's why he was not supporting the governor before. He presented an argument some time ago, and we all believe his argument. So the reason why we are having this crisis, everybody knows. Was it Oshiomhole who asked the governor to exclude members of his party from inauguration?
Those are
the issues.
That doesn't answer my question.
No.
I asked you, you made mention of authentic. You know, you are a legal practitioner.
We should have a balanced argument.
Yes. But I asked you what defines authenticity.
That is where I am going to.
Of the party.
When people in discussion like this, when assertions are made, there are corrections. That's why it's a debate. It's an argument session. So, was it the same Oshiomhole that asked the governor to deviate from the policies of the party? Today, we are now having about 100 billion debt profile against the interest of the party. Today, the 5 billion loan the government took for agriculture, he cannot account for it. Today, the central hospital built by the party is not open. Today, we're talking about the fact that, infrastructural deficit, like what he said, the roads he constructed are made cosmetic roads, which is against what the former governor left.
Well, on this platform, when we come about sharing figures, sharing statistics, we need these statistics to be verified.
You can Google them and know what I'm talking about. That those states right now is the second highest indebted state in Nigeria. Do I need anybody to say? Do I need to say that if everybody knows that these are facts? Today we are having the level of job progression in those states instead of job creation. Are these not facts? Go and check statistics, Bureau of Statistics. The facts are there. So to go to your answer.
But if you have to say that, even before now, even in the government of Adams Oshiomhole, there were still issues about the debt profile. What do you make of that?
I want to appreciate the fact that you invited me to this program. You know, I wish I could be given the opportunity to express myself freely. Maybe later questions can be asked.
You have the time.
Yes, you asked the question. I'm going to questions you asked whether the authenticity of what happened, the removal or not. Are you telling me that the national chairman of the party can be removed by a few selected individuals here in Benin City? Can you tell me national chairman of the party? Oh, if they are saying that they are suspending him from his party not as national chairman, the law is very clear like what he said. It is the world executive, the world leader that can suspend anybody from the world. No one person from government has said we are already suspended, which we all saw that was the reactionary approach to the suspension of removal.
Okay, again, but what do you make of the reaction?
He quoted a law that talks about the procedure.
Okay.
They have not expelled the former chairman of the party, APC, from the party. They didn't expel him. The suspension is an interim disciplinary measure. The only thing that can make it to expel him is after the fact-finding committee, they have come to Edo State to know that, okay, this is exactly what happened. Then a decision can be taken whether to expel him. Right now, he's suspended as the chairman of APC until the committee, until they vitiate what has been done. He remains suspended. So as we speak today, We are having the authentic chairman of APC led by
as a round of still on you, the Progressive Congress Forum, the forum of governors on the platform of APC, did say through the Director General Lukman that the national chairman of the party should convene a NEC meeting, otherwise resign.
The essence of
I want your opinion on that.
In little journalism I did, you know what I learned? I learned in actually learning, getting the right facts. The DG did not speak on behalf of the governors. Let's be very clear. The DG spoke as an individual. He did say this was the resolution of the meeting of the governors. He did say so. He spoke as the Director General, which he does not have the locus to do. You know,
so is that
the today, and you are expecting democracy. Yesterday, the governors were in Bayelsa, governors of APC were in Bayelsa to support rally around their own. And those governors was not there. So if they were against the governors, what they are alleging, would they have been following him to do campaign? So the DG was speaking as an individual, not on behalf of the party or behalf of the governors.
Thank you. In 10 seconds, you have anything to say?
Yes. I want to really clarify something here. He asked a simple question that was directed to me. That was I angry with the governor because he didn't share money? I stated before now that there is no way you can jettison stomach infrastructure for politics. I worked and I have to benefit, fine.
Okay,
but and I said something. I said outside my personal interest, what is the collective interest of the Edo people? People are benefiting immensely. Should I be crying now?
Thank you. Big question. Thank you, Stanley Osaze. Thank you, Felix Isere. I think I gave you the floor, no?
Yes.
I thank you, Forez Okbere.
Thank you.
All right. I think this is where we'll call it a wrap. Finally, on TMI Thursday. Big thanks, viewers, for watching, and we're going to do this again sometime on Sunday. Today's Thursday, so basically we're not having TMI tomorrow, but it will be on Sunday, and then we go it all the way to bring about the way forward in respect of this issue and how to close the gap. On behalf of the entire production team that made this edition a success, I'm Philip Omo Gukmo, and I'm saying stay out of trouble, be law abiding. Goodbye.
This is ITV, certainly the best.